Hello students, we are discussing the chapter directing, and so far in previous videos we have discussed about the meaning of directing, its features, its importance and elements. There are four elements of directing. The first one is leadership, second one is motivation, third is supervision, and number four is communication. Supervision in detail is not there in our syllabus, so after then regarding the motivation, we have discussed in the previous video about the motivation, and incentive techniques we have already discussed in previous video. At last we discussed about the non financial incentives, and these non financial incentives were: number one, recognition, job security, career advancement opportunity, employee participation, status, job enrichment. Organizational climate means to provide good climate to the workers on work. Convenient atmosphere can be provided under this. Then employee empowerment means giving more roles, more powers, more decision making powers to employees. So these were about the motivation and non-financial incentives. Now in today's video we discussed the next element of directing, that is leadership. First of all, we would like to discuss about the meaning of leadership. Leadership is the process of influencing the behavior of followers in such a direction so that the organizational objectives can be achieved. Means leadership is that process which influences the behavior of people by making them strive voluntarily towards the achievement of organizational goals. Or in shortcut, if you want to say, leadership means influencing the behavior of followers in a particular direction, or influencing the behavior of followers for working in a better way, so that the organizational objectives can be achieved. Leadership indicates the ability of an individual to maintain good interpersonal relations with followers and motivate them to contribute for achieving the organizational objectives. If we talk about the definition, one of the best definition which is given by Harold Kuntz, that is, leadership is an art or process of influencing people so they will strive willingly and enthusiastically towards the achievement of organizational goals. In other words, one more definition is given by George Terry, that is very important. Leadership is the activity of influencing people to work willingly for group objectives. This is the good definition. Now let us discuss the features of leadership. Features of leadership. Leadership indicates ability of an individual to influence the behavior of others. Number two, leadership tries to bring change in the behavior of others. Number three, leadership indicates interpersonal relation between leaders and followers. Number four, leadership is exercised to achieve common goals of the organization. And number five, leadership is a continuous process. Now we'll discuss the important fact about the leadership, that is styles of leadership. Styles of leadership. The behavioral pattern which the leader reflects in his role as a leader is often described as the style of leadership. A leadership style depends upon leader's philosophy, personality, experience, value system, type of followers, atmosphere prevailing in the organization, and use of authority by the leader. So, all these things form the leadership style. There are three important leadership style in the syllabus, which are: number one, autocratic; autocratic or authoritarian leadership style. Authoritarian leadership style. Autocratic means this is that style where all the decisions are taken by the leader himself and others have to follow the decision strictly. There will be no, we can say, relaxation for the followers. So, autocratic leader gives orders and expects the subordinates to obey those orders. This leader is dogmatic and does not change or wish to be contradictive. He determines the policies for the group without consulting them. Means under the autocratic style of leadership, all the decisions regarding the group objectives are to be taken by the leader itself. He will not consult any of his followers, any of his subordinates about the decisions. No power, no decision making power will be given to the followers. Everything is to be decided by such autocratic leaders, and followers have to strictly follow that. There should be no contradiction. Nobody can ask him about the particular decision. Nobody can ask the question about his decisions. This is called autocratic or authoritarian leadership style. Now let us discuss some of the advantages of these styles. Under this style should normally be used on rare occasions. However, this leadership style is effective in getting productivity in many situations, like a factory where the supervisor is responsible for production on the time and has to ensure labor productivity. Where quick decision making is required, there in that area, in that particular situation, autocratic leadership can be beneficial. Now let us discuss number two, that is democratic or participative leadership. Democratic, democratic or participative leadership style. Democratic or participative leadership style, as the word meaning suggests, this is that type of leadership style where democratically all the decisions are taken by leader after consulting his followers. Suggestions are asked and freedom is given to the subordinates for the suggestions, and one balanced decision after consulting the followers is taken. So democratic leader develops action and makes decision in consultation with his subordinates. He works he works out of policies with acceptance of group. He exercises more control by using forces within the group. He never asks people to do things without uh, working out the long-term plans. He respects the other's opinion and supports subordinates to perform their duties to accomplish organizational objectives. Now, the advantages of or benefits of such type of style. This style of leadership improves the attitude of the employees towards the job and the organization, thereby increasing their morale. Using this style of mutual benefit is of mutual benefit. It allows them to become a part of the team, and cordial relations are developed in the organization. Third one, the third leadership style, laissez-faire. Laissez-faire or free rein leadership style, or free rein leadership style. Free rein, this is also laissez-faire leadership style. This is also called free rein leadership style. Under this leadership style, leader does not believe in use of power unless it is absolutely essential. Every individual is given freedom to take decisions regarding their work. Powers are not used by the leader. Everything is to be decided by the followers, subordinates. Every individual have the power to take his own decisions. Everything is free. The leader gives a high degree of independence to his followers so as to formulate their own objectives and ways to achieve them. At the same time, subordinates assume responsibility for the work to be performed. Such type of leader depends largely upon the group to establish its own goal and work out its own problem. The leader is there only to support them. Leader exists as a contact man with the outsiders to bring information and resources the group requires for accomplishing the task assigned. Means a totally free style of leadership. So this was about the third element of directing, that is leadership. In this video we discussed about the meaning of leadership, definition of leadership, features of leadership, and leadership style. There are three leadership style. Number one, autocratic leadership, or this is also called authoritarian leadership style. Then democratic leadership style. This is also called participative leadership style. Third is a laissez-faire leadership style, which is also called free rein leadership style. So in this video, this is about the leadership, and in next video we will discuss about the motivation. Then this chapter will be over. Till then, bye students.